It is time to get excited for 7.0. We have the stage and stream schedule for Fan Festival 2023 in Las Vegas, and I am very excited. Although I am going to the European one, not the American one this time. Maybe in the future, I would love to do that if they did something other than the lottery system for residents in the future, hopefully, despite that debacle. A lot of the stuff at FanFest, although a lot of it will be better in person, will be streamed apart from the concerts themselves. And we actually now, in the link in the description of this video, have access to this Lodestone article where they're talking about where to watch their stuff and how to watch it, right, as well as the times. So these will be probably, adjusted to your own time zone. You might want to go on the North American Lodestone or the European Lodestone or whatever your region might be version of the website. It'll be on there. So we're looking at this. Essentially, the official Final Fantasy XIV YouTube channel and the Twitch channel will both have coverage of the entire panels and events and keynotes. The keynote is the most important part, in my opinion. And this will be on the 28th of July, which is day one, which is a Friday, and also streamed on Saturday, the 29th of July, which is obviously day two of the two-day event. On day one, then, we have, as you can see here with the times, which are pointless me reading because they'll be dependent on your own time zone, we have the keynote. The keynote is obviously where director and producer Naoki Yoshida will stand on the stage. Usually he comes out in a special outfit, a cosplay. Last time it was a Gunbreaker cosplay. Before then it was a samurai. It's all very exciting stuff, and usually it has an impact on what one of the jobs might be, or some inclination towards that, as well as some other announcements. In the keynote, this is where we'll get information, basically what 7.0 will be, its setting, that sort of thing. The very basic announcements, the things that the press and people in the media will be sat front row all the way around the world or in person, waiting desperately to hear where we're going for 7.0. I'm very excited for that. So that is sort of like, for my time, that's sort of afternoon, evening time, which is really good. I'll probably sit around on Discord and with a bunch of friends, we'll watch that together. If you are going in person, you are very much a lucky person, and it's going to be amazing. Enjoy it to its fullest. Then straight after that, we have the opening ceremony where they talk about what they can do at the event. Usually that's to start kicking things off towards the rest of the real schedule to welcome people in. And of course, then we have A Realm Revisited, which is the first major sort of panel. This is in celebration of the upcoming 10th anniversary. The North American community team will look back at impactful updates made to 14 over the years, from grandiose moments to community memes. Enjoy this walk down memory lane. So that's presented by Aya Montoya and Danielle Graft. This will be in English. So just to reiterate, the keynote's in Japanese and English. The opening ceremony is in English and Japanese. The A Realm Revisited panel, looking back at 14 over the years, is in English only. And then we have Beginning from the End, the annotated Endwalker. This is a panel a little bit later on in the evening, my time. It says, join members of the development team as they look back on the creation of Endwalker. Now, this is with Natsuko Ishikawa and Naoki Yoshida. So obviously we're going to be having English and Japanese for that. It's going to be very interesting from a lore perspective as well as writing perspective of how they created Endwalker. So I'm excited to hear that one myself. Then technically it would go over to the next day for me on Saturday the 29th of July, but maybe in your own time zone it's still Friday. They have Glamored to Life. This is the cosplay event. So they say they've invited cosplayers of all skill levels to strut their stuff on stage for everyone to see. Come and enjoy the pageantry and dedication on display. Now, after meeting a lot of people at FanFest Paris that went in insane lengths, months and months and months of work, stitching and sewing and gluing and creating and printing and 3D printing and painting. It's, you don't want to miss that one. I do love the cosplay. The cosplay in Final Fantasy XIV is some of the best you will ever see. in the video games industry. Definitely don't want to miss that. And then to wrap off that evening, there's the piano performance, which will not be broadcast, unfortunately. This will have Keiko there, as well as presumably our good friend, as it says here, Masayoshi Soken. If you don't know anything about the Masayoshi Soken sort of presentations with the automaton and things like that, I'll let you Google that. Unfortunately, that will not be broadcast, as well as the other concert on day 2 as well. Day 2 then kicks off at sort of afternoonish time, my time, with the letter from a producer live. The next part, they always do a live letter on stage. This is going to be especially impressive because they're going to be talking about, obviously, what's to come in the future leading into 7.0. So remember, we have that lead-in patch, we have that information, and they'll probably talk about 7.0 in a much sort of finer detail. Probably some sneak peeks at things. Remember, we have a lot in 7.0. Not only do we have content, a place, presumably jobs, we also have a graphics update. So it's likely that we'll see more from that. Then we have the Crystalline Conflict Regional Championships for North America. It's a little bit later in the evening for me. It says 4 semi-finalist teams bring the excitement to the main stage of Fan Festival to battle it out to see who claims a North American champion title. So this is obviously presented by Naoki Yoshida, Aya Montoya, Brian Ricardo. You might know Brian, a great PvP commentator and creator in Final Fantasy XIV, as well as Frosty as well, another great creator. So it's going to be really cool to see what they what it's like, right? Crystalline Conflict, personally, in my opinion, translates better to a broadcast and a staged event, much more than the feast. That's just my opinion, so I'm expecting that to be a lot more entertaining than in previous years. PvP has come on a long way, regardless of what you think of it. It definitely has evolved. Then, a little bit later in the evening, we have the last panel, which is Speaking the Language of Creation. This is with Kate Sinwar, Michael Christopher Koji Fox, obviously. Koji, famous for doing his translations and all sorts of writing for 14, as well as Final Fantasy 16, as well as Matt Helton, obviously hosting the majority of the event here at North American Fanfest. And this Speaking the Language of Creation says English localization lead Kate Sinwar offers a glimpse behind the scenes as to how the team uses language to give life to 14's myriad realms and the key role of collaboration in bringing Endwalker's expansive story to global audiences. Also, Koji Fox will be there for some reason, they say. That's literally what it says. Koji is famous for, at FanFest, creating the vegetarian entry for one of the fish that you can actually fish. I don't know if you know anything about that, but it's one of the longest item descriptions ever implemented in a game. There might even be a world record for that. I'm not sure if they've even checked, but it is one of the longest item tooltips I've ever seen in a video game. It was brilliant. They did that live at a previous FanFest. I cannot wait to see what Koji Fox has up his sleeve. The man is a genius. So is everybody who works on 14. But that man, he's the master of puns. Let's put it that way. And then to round off the end of that day, and FanFest Las Vegas will be on Sunday, the 30th of July, the Primals live in concert. Obviously, if you don't know what the Primals are, then where have you been? Underneath a rock. It's an in-house band, basically. They do a lot of music, obviously with developers. Soken is involved. Koji Fox is involved on vocals. It's just brilliant. And a lot of the music's actually in 14 now as well, in various places. Really good music. That, unfortunately, again, will not be broadcast. So everything else, apart from the concert, so the Language of Creation, the regional championships, the live letter, the Glamour to Life cosplay, beginning from the end, going backwards here, Realm Revisited, and the opening ceremony and keynote of day one will all be broadcast on Twitch and YouTube. And I am very excited to be there with you. I'll be breaking this stuff down as it gets announced. Some of these times and dates might not be appropriate for some of the people not attending in person. Maybe you have work schedules, so there'll be videos on the channel, as you would imagine. Very excited to see what's coming in 7.0, and we'll likely do a predictions video just in a moment. But yeah, Very cool stuff. Check that out. If you're attending, this is even more information that you probably didn't know already. And yeah, hopefully it's a good one. I cannot wait. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.